As gamers, we're always trying to get the most bang for our buck in terms of games we play. But how do you even know whether or not to buy a game? Of course, the number one answer for that could be reviews and if your friends like it, but what about when the game has yet to be seen in full by anyone? Well, that's where advertising comes in, and some of the ad campaigns that promoted games were crazy horrifying and on one borderline unethical. In this It's All Viral exclusive, we're going to give you 7 of the most controversial marketing campaigns put out there by game developers. Number 1. Let's go old school to start things off. And by old school, we mean 2002. That was the year that Shadow Man 2 came out. But before it did, their publisher Acclaim tried to pay people to put advertisements of the game on their loved ones' graves for pay. They coined this term Vertising, and of course, this plan was already pushing up daisies as it was an early April Fool's joke. Number 2. Speaking of Acclaim, they've had another advertisement campaign that wound up being a, quote, joke in Burnout 2. Acclaim offered to pay speeding tickets for drivers in the UK before Burnout 2 was released in anticipation of the game. Unfortunately for them, this plan was met with a lot of political backlash, and Burnout 2 was far from the fast lane in terms of sales. Number 3. Game release parties, awesome. Game release parties where a goat is sacrificed to the gods? That's kind of debatable. Sony decided to sacrifice a goat to celebrate the release of God of War 3 and made it the centerpiece for their party. Of course, PETA was on that like double chain blades on Kratos, and Sony got slammed by animal rights activists. Number 4. You know what would be crazy? If you could find free money on the streets of New York lying around waiting to be picked up. Zynga knew how awesome this would be and glued fake Zynga bucks to the sidewalls of the Big Apple. Of course, nobody was a big fan of this marketing move, especially the New York government, who said it was illegal to put printed ads on sidewalks. Number 5. Booth babes are one of the greatest wonders of the early 2000s, as they showed that marketing executives got a little too desperate to get their products out there. Take Nokia, for example, who paraded around scantily clad women with the N-Gage price tag on their torsos at E3. Needless to say, this plan didn't go over well because who the heck would ever own an N-Gage? Number 6. You know what is evil? Hiring people to protest your game. That's what EA did with Dante's Inferno, as they faked a Christian protest at E3. EA hired actors to picket the event, claiming that the game made fun of hell and their faith. Number 7. Our last one is actually 2 games who decided to do the same advertisement campaign, and this campaign offered parents to name their child after the game. Turok Evolution was the first game to decide to run this campaign, as everyone's favorite shock advertiser, Acclaim, offered up $10,000 to anyone who was willing to name their child Turok. And do you want to know the other game that wanted people to name their child after the game? Skyrim. Bethesda offered a lifetime supply of current and future games to anyone who named their kid Dovahkiin, and the crazy part is one family actually went through with it. Unfortunately, he wound up not being a Dragonborn. Anyways guys, these have been some pretty crazy campaigns. This has been Mike for It's All Viral. To find my channel, check out link down in the description, as well as How To Games, the editor, and the writer, James. Anyways guys, like I said, this has been Mike for It's All Viral. Thanks for watching.